Alright, so before we get started for today, I've got a different job of sorts here now. It is Sunday morning. I got a call from my wife yesterday afternoon that she didn't have any hot water on what we call the old side of the house. We've got two water heaters. We've got a water heater that serves the old side of the house, and then we've got a water heater on the new side. So this is the old side, and it has a stone block foundation, just like any of your typical old farmhouses. You've got a dirt floor here, and the addition is on that side there. There was a set of Bilco doors that came in from the outside right there, and we just blocked it up with cement blocks when they did the foundation for the new side. So I used to have a heating oil furnace that was sitting right here. That was a forced air unit. Now we're heating the house with propane baseboard water heat. So we left this water heater on this side of the house, and every so often we have to replace the actual elements that are in the water heater. Not only on this water heater, but also the water heater over on the other side. Now on this side there is a concrete floor because of the furnace and the water heater, and you got the power service coming in on the other side. Now this house also has an old cistern, which will show you what that looks like once I get climbed up on there. But it's basically a tank that they held water and rainwater and whatever, and then that's what they used for cleaning up and stuff like that. So we'll jump up on there and we'll show you what that looks like. So here is the opening of the cistern, and then you can see down in there that there was a 3/4 inch pipe that went down in it that they must have had some kind of a pump hooked into, but that's what they held water in, whether it be rainwater or just pumping water into it from a shallow well, just so you had some kind of a water reserve. So now we're going to get into changing the element. We've got to turn off the water supply. So we've got the water supply turned off. Now I'm going to run upstairs and turn a faucet on. I'm going to actually turn the hot water faucet on. And once I get the elements in, well, we'll explain that once we get farther along here. Okay, so we have the two power wires unhooked from it. Now these heater elements, they take an 1.5 inch socket. Now you can buy a cheap socket that takes these heater elements out. It looks like a large spark plug wrench. You can buy them from the home repair store, but they are junk. They're soft metal, and they usually don't work all that well. And this one here might actually need a little bit of an adjustment with a hammer, just so that I can get the socket on here to bite it. Got a little lime build up on it. I need to catch proper angle here. I'm hoping I can get, yeah. I've had these be a bit of a mongrel, and had them to where, you know, they were rounded off. Sometimes you can pound a 7/16 socket on it to get it. Now, if we didn't have a dirt floor over on this far side here, we would have to have a shop vac or something to catch this water with, or if you don't have a lot of lime in your water, you can hook a hose on them and drain it with a hose. But usually, by the time we get to this point, we've got enough lime in our water that it just plugs up that little drain hose anyway. So we'll go ahead and get this element out of here. I'm already losing water. So there, we've got that out. We've got to let the water drain, and we'll have to pull all the lime out, but that's what this element looks like the coil is burned clean through. So it appears that I probably won't have to change the top element, being that this element had been in lime. It just burned itself out. So we'll let the water drain out and clean the lime out and get a new element in there. Now, I've pawed a lot of this lime out while this water's been draining, and I don't feel that there's any more in there that I really have to get out. So I'm just going to go ahead and stuff this element right back in there. And if you didn't have lime in your water, you could actually change this quick enough and not lose that much water. If I've got a faucet open upstairs, sometimes you don't lose much at all because it's like holding your finger over a straw, and if you don't have any air leaks, you can change it relatively quick without losing a lot of water. You could just stick a vacuum cleaner here, switch it quick, and get it at the same time. So we'll go ahead and get this tight. You can see the amount of lime that came out, which is not a lot. I've seen more. I've seen a coffee can or a paint can full of it before, but this is relatively clean this time around. So we're going to go ahead and tighten it up. I'm going to pull the top element out just to check it, make sure that one is okay. And if that one's alright, we'll just stuff it back in there. We'll just get this tight and then check the top one, and if that one is bad, we'll change it as well. Okay, the top element is fine. That's what a normal used water heater element should look like. So we're just going to toss this one back in. This one's fine. Got a little bit of lime buildup on it, but that's normal. Alright, before we actually hook the wires back up, we're just going to turn the water back on. And while the water tank is filling, we'll hook our wires up. I do have a faucet upstairs opened up, and once that water starts flowing out of that faucet, we'll know the water heater's full, and then we can turn the power on. I've made the mistake before by turning the water heater on before the water gets in there, and that is when you can burn out an element as well. If there's no water around them elements, they just get too hot and they explode. So once that's full, we'll turn the breaker back on and let this start heating up, and hopefully it's good for another 6 months. Alright, this is the faucet in the bathroom sink that we have on. You can hear the air coming out, so we're just waiting for that to start flowing water. We'll shut it off and turn the breaker on. And there it comes. You can see it's kind of dirty from all that lime disruption. That cleared right up. So just flip the power switch here on, and There she goes. Alright, so you can hear the elements heating the water up in there if you listen. Now this is an 80-gallon electric water heater, and this was the element that came out of it, which is pretty typical because of the hard water that we have. Now we probably should get a water softener at some point in time. We keep talking about it every time we have a situation with one of the water heaters, but we never get around to doing it. So this water heater here is about 15 years old, and it has far lived past its life expectancy living in the type of environment that it's in, meaning the hard water. I don't usually put the covers back on just because I'm in and out of the damn thing so many times, and the kids don't come down here at all. So once this floor dries up here, we'll sweep this up and be ready to change it next time. The water heater that we have on the other side of the house is a 60-gallon water heater, so it serves its purpose and it does well. So that is going to do it for this short little video on changing a water heater element. This is a 2-element water heater. The smaller ones will have one. We're using a 4,500 watt element, and just depending on the size of your water heater will depend on A, how many elements it has, and B, what size the element is. We've got a little tiny one over in the shop. I think that one's only a 1,500 watt, and the element is about half the length of this one. So that is going to do it, and we will catch you at the next video. I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to get along with the rest of my Sunday here.